Welcome to the Divorce Lawyers podcast, brought to you by DivorceLawyers.ca. I'm Deepa Taylor, and today we're going to delve into a crucial topic for anyone navigating the difficult waters of divorce and parenting: self-help strategies for divorce and parenting. This episode is particularly tailored for our listeners in Ontario, Canada, but the strategies discussed can be applied broadly. Remember, while this podcast aims to provide valuable information, it should not replace personalized legal advice. For that, always consult with one of our lawyers by visiting DivorceLawyers.ca. To begin, let's clarify what we mean by self-help in the context of divorce and parenting. Essentially, self-help involves taking unilateral actions, often without the consent or even the knowledge of the other party, to resolve issues related to your divorce or parenting arrangements. This can range from deciding to withhold parenting time from the other parent to making significant decisions about your child's education or living arrangements without consultation. In Ontario, the legal system generally frowns upon self-help because it can create further conflict and instability, particularly for children. However, there are situations where self-help might seem like the only option. The key is to understand when it is appropriate and when it is likely to backfire. One of the foundational principles in family law, particularly when dealing with parenting issues, is the concept of status quo. The status quo refers to the living arrangements and routines that were in place for the children before the separation. Courts are often reluctant to disrupt the status quo unless there is a compelling reason, such as evidence that the current arrangement is not in the child's best interest. For instance, if the children have been living primarily with one parent for an extended period, this arrangement might become the status quo. If the other parent tries to unilaterally change this by taking the children away, this could be viewed as an attempt at self-help that the court may not look favorably upon. Courts typically prefer to maintain stability for children during the turbulent times of separation and divorce. While the general rule is to avoid self-help, there are situations where it might be justified. For example, if you believe that your child is in immediate danger due to domestic violence or substance abuse by the other parent, you might take immediate action to protect them, such as removing the child from the home. However, even in these situations, it's crucial to document everything and seek legal advice as soon as possible. Courts will want to see that your actions were necessary to protect the child's well-being and not just a pretext to gain an advantage in custody disputes. So, what can you do if you're tempted to engage in self-help but want to avoid the legal pitfalls? First, consider working on a legal agreement with your ex-spouse if communication is still possible. Drafting a temporary parenting agreement while you work out the long-term arrangements can help maintain stability and prevent accusations of self-help. Next, if you have serious concerns about the other parent's behavior, such as substance abuse or violence, it's wise to seek a court order. This could involve supervised visitation or even exclusive possession of the home. Taking this legal route allows you to address your concerns without resorting to self-help. Additionally, engaging in mediation can be an effective way to resolve disputes without taking unilateral action. A neutral third party can assist both parents in coming to an agreement that serves the best interests of the child. Now, let's discuss some real-life examples to illustrate the consequences of self-help. In the case of Clement versus Clement, the mother unilaterally changed the children's school without the father's consent, leading to significant legal repercussions, including a temporary loss of custody. This case underscores how courts can view self-help as an abuse of parental authority. On the flip side, in Blake versus Reyes, the mother relocated the child in breach of a court order due to an urgent safety concern. Although the court initially frowned upon this, they ultimately ruled in her favor, citing the compelling circumstances that justified her actions. This case highlights that while self-help is risky, there are situations where the courts might understand and even support such decisions, if done for the right reasons. One of the most critical considerations in any discussion about self-help is the impact on the children. Children caught in the middle of parental disputes can experience heightened anxiety, confusion, and emotional distress. When parents engage in self-help, it often disrupts the child's sense of stability and security, which can have long-lasting effects. That's why it's crucial to focus on the child's best interests in every decision. Even if you're acting out of what you believe is a necessity, consider how your actions will affect your child's emotional and psychological well-being. Instead of resorting to self-help, there are better alternatives to consider. Whenever possible, try to communicate with the other parent. Even if relations are strained, keeping lines of communication open can prevent misunderstandings and unnecessary conflict. If you can't reach a final agreement immediately, consider working on a temporary one that can be reviewed after a few months. This allows both parties to see how the arrangement works in practice before making a long-term commitment. And before taking any drastic actions, always consult with a lawyer. They can help you understand the potential legal consequences and guide you toward a more effective and legally sound approach. As we've discussed, self-help in divorce and parenting can be a double-edged sword. While there are situations where it might seem necessary, it often leads to more harm than good, especially in the eyes of the court. The best approach is to act cautiously, prioritize your child's well-being, and seek legal advice when in doubt. If you're facing difficult decisions in your divorce or parenting journey, don't hesitate to reach out to us at DivorceLawyers.ca for expert legal guidance. We're here to help you navigate these challenges with your rights and your children's best interests in mind. Thank you for joining me today on the Divorce Lawyers podcast. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. Until next time, take care and remember, you don't have to navigate this journey alone.